So you've seen those tarotscope readings out there, but either you don't know much about tarot or you don't know a whole lot about astrology. What is a tarotscope? That's what we're going to look at today. Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. If you haven't met me yet, my name is Leesa. I am a tarot consultant and I do tarotscopes on my channel. So I wanted to take just a few minutes to put together a video today to help people understand a little bit better what that is and how it can really help them. So wanted to divide this into a few different chapters, and you can see those down below. We're first going to talk about what a tarotscope is. We're going to discuss why they're useful, and then we're going to talk about how to find your sun, moon, and rising signs, which I think are probably the three most valuable signs to use when looking at a tarotscope. And then stick around until the end, because I'm going to have the #1 tip for making the most of your tarotscope readings later in the video. So let's get started with just looking at what a tarotscope is. So what is a tarotscope reading? Well, simply put, a tarotscope is a specific type of tarot spread that takes a look at the energies surrounding each zodiac sign over a given period of time. So it allows you to get an idea of the general energies coming your way in the upcoming zodiac season. And this allows you to better prepare for what's ahead and make potential changes. Now, there's a few different styles of tarotscopes, but on my channel, I cast my tarotscopes for a month time for one whole zodiac season. And I also do it for the collective. So for my subscribers and anyone else who finds the video. So for each of my videos, we discuss the zodiacal season that we're entering and the general energies there, and then we go into the tarot spread. So a card is drawn for each zodiac sign, and it's interpreted based on your zodiac chart, your signs. So you will usually look at 1 to 3 cards out of the spread, and that's it. And then you would take those 3 cards and combine them together to get a reading for you that is your tarotscope for that given month. And although it doesn't give specific details on what will happen during the time period, it will give you a sense of the energies that are flowing around you and in and out of your life based on a combination of the card and the sign that it's in. One of the great things about a tarotscope is it allows you to understand, rather than the granular specifics of your day-to-day life, more about the general energies flowing in and out based on you specifically and your chart. So it allows you to get a very, top-down view of what you can expect in the upcoming season. But what if you don't know much about astrology or your chart? Well, that's okay, because you actually don't need to know much to take advantage of a tarotscope, and you just need a few bits of information and then you can get started. And in fact, the first thing that I get asked by people who are new to this type of reading is, which sign should I follow and what cards should I be looking at? Because there will be 12 in the reading, right? So let's go over that briefly. Grab a sheet of paper to take notes, or if you want to reference this later, I would hit that like button or the subscribe button so that you can find the video again easily. So I generally suggest that people follow 1 to 3 specific zodiac signs during a tarotscope reading. Each sign impacts a different part of your life, and therefore the energy expressed through that card is going to be a bit different based on your birth chart. So they are considered to be the big 3 in your birth chart, these 3 signs we're going to talk about, because they most impact you personally and how you interact with the world. So let's go over that. The first sign that nearly everyone should be able to take advantage of is their sun sign. Now, the sun sign is usually the first astrological sign that people know. When people say, I'm a Leo or I'm a Sagittarius, usually they are talking about their sun sign. It means that, simply put, from the Earth's viewpoint, during a specific time of the year, the sun was positioned in a certain part of the sky. We take that sky, we slice it into 12 pieces, and those are the zodiac signs. What is the sun sign all about? It shows your identity. It shows who you are at your core. It's the I am piece of you. It helps to identify your internal life goals and shows how you shine into the world. So this is all about what you're striving to achieve in your life, and it really colors the way that you experience and see the world. So whatever card is drawn for you for your sun sign in the Tarotscope reading is going to impact things that are focused on your life goals and what is driving you, and all those ways that you are trying to set achievement levels for yourself throughout your life, and how you kind of experience and see the world. This is going to be one of your biggest 3 to look at. So that is your sun sign. The next sign that I would follow would be your rising sign. However, this is a sign that you can only figure out if you know your exact location and time of your birth. Otherwise, you're going to have to skip this one because it just won't be accurate. However, you can usually find this information on your birth certificate. So if you know the time and the location of your birth, then you can create a birth chart for yourself. And it's actually really simple now. You don't have to go ahead and do the math anymore. You can just go onto a website like astro.com or similar websites, and you put information in, and when you're done, you will get a birth chart. Now, there's a lot of information on here, so don't worry if it looks like a jumble to you. That is totally fine, because it looks like a jumble to anyone who's not really into astrology. But your rising sign is simply the section of the sky that was sitting on the eastern horizon in the moment that you were born. So on the chart, find the line that looks like 9 o'clock and see what section of the sky it is pointing to. So on this particular chart, it's pointing to this kind of wavy line, which is actually the symbol for Aquarius. If you are not aware of that, you can find that. So this person's rising sign would be Aquarius. It is possible that you might have a chart that's situated a little bit differently, and it might be pointing to a dividing line. If that's the case, you just look at the one that's underneath it. Okay, so once you find your rising sign, what does that deal with? Well, this shows how you present yourself to other people. It's like the mask that people see when they first meet you. So often people see you more as your rising sign than your sun sign. Your rising sign shows your outward style. It shows your automatic responses to your external environment. It's the more social side of your personality. So the cards that are pulled that indicate your rising sign are going to deal a lot more with the way that you interact with other people and how you're interacting with your external environment. The third sign that I would follow is your moon sign. And your moon sign is simply the section of the sky, that pie in the sky that the moon was in when you were born. So it's best, once again, if you have your birth time to figure this one out. But if you don't, it's possible you can still figure out your moon sign, since the moon spends about 2.5 days in each sign. So go back to your chart and see what sign the moon is in, and it'll have a little symbol that will show you that. If you don't know your exact birth time, try using 12 p.m. As long as the moon is still at least 6 degrees from the edge of the sign, you can use that as your moon sign. The moon sign in a tarotscope shows how you express and deal with your emotions, how you experience the world, and how you typically react emotionally to things. So this also shows us about our habits, our reactions, our instincts, how we react actually before we think about things. It tells us a lot about our moon sign. So when you have a card pulled for your moon sign in your tarotscope, it's going to be around those things: your emotional reactions, your habits, your instincts. And that's what that card is going to indicate. So I told you at the beginning that I was going to share with you my #1 tip for making the most of your tarotscope readings. And it's really very simple, guys. It's that concept of just writing it down. So have a journal or a scrap of paper or a notebook or a corner of your calendar where you can make note of the energy readings. And 2 reasons why this is so helpful. #1, we tend to forget things. So writing it down will allow you to return to it in a week or 2 or 3 and see how this energy is playing out for you. It allows you to know what's coming and be proactive and play a more active role in your future, as well as taking a look at what has already come and being able to better interpret your readings. Number 2, most of us are not professional astrologers. So it turns out of those 3 main signs, your sun, your moon, and your rising sign, 1 or 2 of them may actually weigh in more into your life. Your birth chart is more than just those 3 signs, and your life experience obviously plays a huge part in how you view the world. So keeping track of which one of these signs plays a bigger role for you can be incredibly useful. And you only get that when you write things down and look at things over time. In fact, the basic information in this video on your sun, moon, and rising sign would be a great start for a Tarotscope journal if you don't already have that information. So I hope that this video helped you understand a bit more about Tarotscopes and how they can work for you, as well as a bit more about your astrological signs. So if there is a question that you still have, please make sure that you leave a comment below. Let me know and I will do my best to answer it for you. Make sure that you subscribe so that you'll see when my next Tarotscope comes out. And if you haven't seen this month's Tarotscope, I will include the link below so that you can check that out. But thanks for hanging out with me, guys, and I'll see you next time.